go up against a powerhouse out west, but I look at two players that have been instrumental in the back-to-back wins for the Ottawa Senators, and it starts in net with Andrew Hammond, who's settled his game down and has got his legs underneath him a little bit at the National Hockey League level. I've been impressed with his confidence in the net. A quieter game. He doesn't go chasing pucks, allows the puck to come towards him, and he's made a couple big saves at the right time for the Ottawa Senators. Another one, centerman Kyle Turris, who's really come on and played a confident game. Pucks finding the back of the net for him. He's had a couple nice assists in these wins. So bigger picture, when you're facing, I guess, that second line type of competition, Turris has matched up really nicely, and you're seeing a confident Kyle Turris. So Hammond and Turris have to be at the top of their game if they're going to do any damage against the Ducks.
Turris, McCulloch, and Stone have been red hot, as you mentioned, as Ottawa looks for its first three-game win streak since mid-October. James? Thank you, James. A five-game road trip for the Senators begins in Orange County tonight. It's the Sens and the Ducks from the Honda Center. And our starting goaltenders are brought to you by Scotiabank. You're richer than you think. Scotiabank, third consecutive start for Andrew Hammond. This will be the first with his parents in the building to watch him play in the National Hockey League. And John Gibson, seventh consecutive start for the second-year goaltender, who made 35 saves and was a shootout winner against Detroit a couple of nights ago.
All eyes will be on Bobby Ryan against his former organization. In his second season with the Ottawa Senators, really grabbed that leadership role within the dressing room. Popular guy, and he wants to be a difference maker. We'll see if he can get something done against his former team.
That hot line of Turris with McCulloch and Stone, 25 points in their last 6 games, gets the start with Carlson and Mathot, and Yuri Sakach, the former Montreal Canadian, will start for Anaheim on a line with Ryan Kessler and former Ottawa Senator Jakob Silfverberg. And that's Silfverberg with the puck along the boards, lost it, flicked out, and McCulloch in pursuit. Eric Brewer gets back. He draws into the Anaheim lineup in place of Ben Lovejoy, who is a healthy scratch for Anaheim tonight. There's Silfverberg, who scored the shootout goal in the game against Detroit. Ducks coming back with 3 goals in the third period to erase a 2-0 deficit and come up with a win. Corey Perry on the ice. That deflecting right on to Hammond, who had to be alert. Getzlaf leans on his man. Here's Perry trying to get to the net. Kyle Palmieri, the other Anaheim forward, as the Ducks have gone to the attack here early.
Well, they certainly have, and starting the cycle, you know that Getzlaf and Perry are so strong at taking the puck to the net, and Andrew Hammond forced into a nice save early on.
Ryan got it ahead. Zibanejad gets it into the Duck zone, and both teams make changes, but you wouldn't know it from that first shift. Getzlaf and Perry have struggled of late. In fact, we're broken apart for 8 periods, got put back together in the third period against Detroit 2 days ago.
You know, it's just a matter of time before Bruce Boudreau wants to get them back together. Maybe test them or give them a little bit of poke here or there to elevate their play, but Getzlaf and Perry are so strong down low, and that's the task for the Ottawa Senators, is to really contain them and try and keep them to the outside.
Lazar, Condrup, Pajot are on the ice, an icing call against the Ducks, and a face-off back in the Anaheim zone.
Andrew Hammond's going to get tested early on in this game, and as I talked about, Getzlaf and Perry so strong down low. It's going to be that cycle. Perry's going to have a nice little play, and it ends up ricocheting off of Mark Mathot's left skate, and Hammond sharp enough to the task to make that save. But again, the Anaheim Ducks all around that net early on.
Erik Karlsson unable to get the shot through. Working along the boards is David Legwand at 599 career points. Gibson swats the puck away from the front of the net, an outlet pass, and out comes Emerson Edom, native of Long Beach, California. Got to the red line and drops it in. He had a goal in that comeback against Detroit. Now Erik Karlsson winds up. Here's Karlsson flipping it just inside the line. Legwand didn't come up with it. Karlsson follows, walks it, shoots, and off the glove of Gibson and up onto the netting. He's been hot of late and dangerous here early.
He certainly was dangerous, and Karlsson looks to the skies. John Gibson makes an outstanding save here. The puck is just directed in. Erik Karlsson with a bad turnover. Karlsson lets the puck do the work for him, and he goes underneath, or tries to go underneath the bar. Gibson gets a chunk of it, and enough of it to send it over the glass as Karlsson had looked to the skies, but terrific play by Erik Karlsson, the captain, to step in and get a good opportunity.
Karlsson gets another shot on off a face-off one in the Anaheim zone. Now Maroon with it. He plays it past Karlsson and out. Here comes Bourque to the attack. He had Fowler loose on the right side, unable to get the puck to him, and now it's flipped over the glass. Ducks calling for a penalty, and it looks like one will be assessed. Dan O'Halloran, Kyle Raymond, the referees.
It's going to be Alex Chiasson that fires the puck straight over the glass, and it's going to start with a 2-on-1 opportunity. Erik Karlsson's going to pinch down. Chiasson's late to get back. Nice play by Methot to break up the 2-on-1, but then Chiasson wants to just bank it off the glass and fires it straight over the top. So not sharp Alex Chiasson early on this game, and is then going to end up crossing an opportunity for the Anaheim Ducks on the power play.
Dave Cameron's crew, 11th ranked on the kill. There's Palmieri with it, out with Corey Perry. Up front, Ryan Kesler, Cam Fowler, and Getzlaf on the points. And the Senators up with it, and out comes Pajot. Over the line, he'll crisscross inside Anaheim territory along with Eric Condra, also out in a penalty-killing role, and Condra will send it back as they'll play keep away. Borowiecki and Gryba on the back end of this penalty kill unit to start for the Senators.
That's excellent work by Pajot and Condra to eat up precious time on the clock, keep it in the offensive zone, and put the puck towards the net on John Gibson.
Fowler gains the line. The Ducks are 1 for 13 in their last 6. Just 19th ranked on the power play. None of their main categories are particularly impressive. All they do are win games, especially one-goal games. Fowler with a shot, and you heard it, off the post. An early pipe, but now Corey Perry trying to snap it in short side, and Hammond was able to hug the post. Fowler unloads again, stop is made, rebound loose in front, and Mark Stone is after it. Fowler to Getzlaf, quickly moving it again. That shot is blocked en route. It comes back to Fowler, sends it into the corner. Comes up top from Kesler to Fowler again. Getzlaf calling for it. Goes to the other side. Kicked out, rebound. Knocked wide off the stick of Perry. And Hammond had to be sharp on that power play assault.
This is terrific work by Andrew Hammond. Gets a little help from the post, but then locks it down and makes 2 nice saves. One on Perry and then another one on Getzlaf. But Hammond under siege early on and bending but not breaking.
Last call, opening power play. Back in they come. An offside call as Hammond flags down the shot anyway and holds on.
As I talked about Hammond getting a little bit of luck, it's going to go back to the top of the umbrella on the power play. Getzlaf back to Fowler, and Perry's in front. Hammond unable to track it, dead off the post, and then a nice little short side play. Perry sees a little bit of daylight on that post, tries to beat Hammond on the short side over the glove, and then a one-timer by Getzlaf on the outside, and Hammond with a nice left pad save. So good sequence there by Andrew Hammond with 3 shots towards the net.
Senators won the first meeting in Ottawa mid-December, 6-2. Corey Perry was not in that game for Anaheim. Up ahead for Edom off his stick, and Karlsson back to collect. Past the 5-minute mark. An early road kill by Ottawa, and away goes Zibanejad. Hoffman stepped up, and we're going to call it offside at the line. Time for our keys to the game, brought to you by Tim Hortons, the official coffee of the NHL.
Well, if you're the Ottawa Senators, you have to be sharp early on. The time change, the internal clock, you drop the puck around 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So, you know, the thought process is to just make sure that your head and your body is into it. Chiasson took that penalty a little bit off, and the Ducks established pace to your game. Against the Detroit Red Wings, they weren't sharp early on. They want to impose their will in this building.
Ryan dumps it in. He had a goal for Ottawa last year when he returned to Anaheim. Here's Karlsson tapping it across to the right side. from long range. Ryan puts it on goal. Hoffman gets the rebound, swings it back to the point. There's Ryan, a one-timer off a leg in front, and down goes Zibanejad, and a penalty upcoming. A high sticking call going against the Ducks.
Well, it's clearly a high stick, and they're checking to see if Zibanejad is cut, but it's going to be a high sticking on Josh Manson right there, just trying to get inside position. And the puck comes right across the face of Mika Zibanejad, and he goes down. So now you get an opportunity for the Ottawa Senators to try and get some opportunities towards the net here on John Gibson.
23rd ranked power play, but it's been good of late. 5 for 18 in their last 6 games. By the way, Josh Manson, the son of Dave Manson, which means he's probably pretty tough, and not the first time he's been in the penalty box.
Yeah, some gritty bloodlines, but you know, we see Ty Domi's son, a very skilled player in Max, and I believe Josh is a skilled player that obviously has a little bit of grit to him, but cut from the father's cloth, but maybe the mother's temperament. You never know.
6 minutes in, they get this power play organized. Karlsson at the controls. Couldn't slide the pass through, knocked down by Silfverberg. Now Stone had it knocked off his stick, and they'll regroup it again back in Ottawa territory. Silfverberg and Kessler, the first penalty kill tandem up for Bruce Boudreau, and a turnover. Silfverberg may have a break, and Stone got back quickly and got some help there from Patrick Wiercott.
That's great work by Silfverberg in the neutral zone. He had Kessler. If he would have just able to chip it to space, Kessler would have potentially won a foot race. And that's a challenge sometimes when you have an aggressive penalty kill that stands up at the blue line and tries to bat pucks out of the air. They can turn things over quickly.
Now finally into the zone, swung back by Ryan. Hoffman gives it back to Karlsson. Mike Hoffman with 20 goals. Into the slot. Chiasson tied up. Couldn't get it back to the point, and there's that area pass you were talking about up ahead for Andrew Cogliano.
Look out!
Swung it back to the defense for Francois Beauchemin, and Bobby Ryan was there. He took a hit, and a good kill here for Anaheim.
They're so aggressive up on the ice. They limit time and space, and that's where you see the Senators are struggling with their entries to get clean looks. You start moving around that puck. And that's just a tribute to the forwards filling lanes, good sticks, and being aggressive all over the ice.
Clock ticks down to 12 seconds remaining in the Manson minor. Ceci with the first pass to Pajot over the line. That one popped high in the air. Condra and Lazar both look for it. It's Pajot along the boards, playing it in behind the net. Manson comes out of the box. And Ottawa did not have a shot on goal during that power play. Ceci will wire that. Blocked en route by Emerson Edom. Flicked ahead out to center. Gloved down once again by Ceci. He hands it away. And Edom unable to break through, and then he lost his footing.
That was a real aggressive penalty kill by the Anaheim Ducks, where you talked about it, Chris. They didn't get any opportunity towards the net. If anything, they had potentially one chance against.
Now Palmieri, Perry, and Getzlaf check in. Their first shift was dangerous. This is their second at even strength. Getzlaf backhanding wide of the goal. Francois Beauchemin in deep. He scored goals in each of the last 3 games. Longest goal streak of his career. Chiasson trying to knock it by him, and now Legwand will shovel it out on the back end and down into Anaheim ice.
The challenge for defending against that top line when Getzlaf starts to control the pace of the game in the offensive zone is don't lose his line mates. That one play, it was a rotation of Beauchemin, went right down to the front of the net. He was wide open if Getzlaf could have found him.
Here's Getzlaf lurking in, trying to center it, denied, and the puck is cleared outside the line. And it's Turris with a good pass. Karlsson steps up. He dropped it and handed it right to Getzlaf. Wonder if Getzlaf called for that.
Absolutely, he's calling for it. Just have to know his nickname, and then he'll hand you the puck.
Sakic is on the ice, and here is Silfverberg trying to come out of the corner. Tracked by Stone on the backhand. Leads it for Sakic, who has just arrived. A big shot from Brewer. And that shot right on the rebound. Now played by Sakic off a leg in front. Have it down. And a glove stop from the seat of his pants on his wallet to make a tough stop there off Ryan Kesler, who's been snake bit the plate. Lucky bounce and then a big time stop. Already 7 saves for Andrew Hammond.
Yuri Sakach is going to try and throw it down low. Favorable bounce right to Kesler, and he tries to outweight Andrew Hammond, who throws the old school 2-pad stack and finishes it with the glove. Terrific save.
Ryan Kesler has not scored in his last 8 games. Here's Wiercioch knocking it away from Rakell, who recovers out, like him back to get the puck at the Anaheim line. Patrick Wiercioch playing it across, and now into the middle it goes for Zibanejad. He's checked at the duck line, and a quick counter here as it's flicked in by Edom on the ice with Rakell and Cogliano. The lines for Bruce Boudreau have been adjusted with the acquisition of Sakach, and now it's Zibanejad just lifting it down the ice and heading back on a chain.
Chris, the one thing that Anaheim has going for them is their defense advance the puck very quickly, and that's why their forwards get into position and they're able to go the other way. And that's one challenge for the Ottawa Senators to shut down, is clog up the middle, but make sure there's not a direct pass to those forwards available.
That defense without Sammy Vatanen, who was having a terrific year. Here's Condra working in. Lost the puck in the slot. Pajot tries to follow up, and he finds it. Jean-Gabriel Pajot to the point. Greiba will load it up. Scores! From the point. Was it redirected?
Well, if it's not, it's Eric Greiba's first goal of the season, but there's some traffic in front of John Gibson, who doesn't track the puck whatsoever. The puck's going to go from low to high. Greiba's going to take a little bit of ice for himself. The entry, a little bit of a scramble. Now Pajot's going to throw it back to the point. Greiba just with a seeing eye shot. Condra gets to the front of the net. Wonder if it redirects off something right there.
We'll wait for the official, because if it's Greiba's goal, his first in 73 games.
It does hit a shin pad. It looked like it changed directions in front of Gibson. Just not sure if it hits an Anaheim player, but good net front presence by Condra to slide right across the vision of John Gibson.
We'll wait for the official. Looks like it is Greiba's goal at 10:57 of the opening period. The icebreaker to the visitors in Anaheim.
Like they're going to give Eric Condra his 7th goal with the assist to Greiba and Pajot. Bucks are going to go back to the point. Curtis Lazar is running the screen in the high slot. Condra comes across John Gibson's sight lines. Looks like it hits his shin pad at the last second. Slides in on that blocker side, but it's good work by Condra. You see right there, it hits this right shin pad. Goes into the net for his 7th of the season. But it's all about net front presence and getting into the goaltender's eyes so they don't track the puck.
19 different teams scouting this game. A tripping penalty coming up against Anaheim, and Eric Condra's name has come up in trade discussions. He now has a 5-game point streak thanks to goal number 7 on the year. Out of the net game, Hammond Turris ran into a wall at the Anaheim line, and play is stopped, but Palmieri's heading off, and the Senators going back to the power play.
Well, it's a tripping penalty in the offensive zone, and Bruce Boudreau will not be happy about that. Coaches hate these offensive zone plays where he's diving at the puck. Stone just trying to grab the puck and look up ice and move it. It's a bit of a lazy play reaching in, and now the Senators get their 2nd opportunity on the power play.
Did not register a shot on the first, trying to expose a penalty kill unit that's given up 7 power play goals against in the last 7 games. Face-off win by Kesler, and the puck is sent down the ice. So Carlson's out with Wiercioch. Ryan Zibanejad on the attack along with Alex Chiasson. Bobby Ryan down the right flank, lost the puck. And on the 2nd try, it'll be fired back out by Manson.
So the challenge for the Senators right now, Erik Karlsson's so good with the puck, but again, I talk about the entries, getting in clean and getting set up.
That was better. Back now to Karlsson. Ryan off the wall, moves in, drops. Carlson to the middle. Slap pass for Wiercioch. Shot goes wide of the net, stick side, and Getzlaf will turn it with Cogliano. Unable to spring Cogliano, who was trying to split that Ottawa defense.
They're so dangerous short-handed because Cogliano is such a great skater, and Getzlaf is so powerful at controlling the puck as well. You have to respect that.
And as soon as Wiercioch missed the net, you could hear Cogliano calling for it. Carlson playing it to the right side. There's a shot. Traffic in front. Gibson down, and he'll cover up with McCulloch on the doorstep.
McCulloch's jamming away. Stone and Turris there as well, trying to just get an opportunity for that second shot on John Gibson. Puck's going to come to the half wall. Turris is just going to throw it towards the net. You can see Milan McCulloch checking to see if he's in the blue paint. Make sure that he doesn't have that goaltender interference call. And Stone trying to jam away. Gibson's able to track it at the last second and corral that rebound. But it's good work by McCulloch, and also a nice play by Turris to just get it down to the front of the net and see if they can hammer away and get a greasy goal.
Stone steps in on this face-off with 46 seconds remaining in the Palmieri penalty. Face-off won by Ryan Kesler, who's good on 55.3% during the year. It'll be Ceci down low. Cody Ceci with a pair of goals in his last four. McCulloch in front. Couldn't get a shot away. Alain McCulloch sitting on 198 career goals, and he's been hot of late.
Yeah, his game is really elevated as of late, but if you watch it, he simplified it too. Just getting to the front of the net, trying to create opportunities not only for himself but his line mates.
On to the right side for Turris. Stone will tap it back for Ceci. He'll sidestep Silverberg. He'll move in deep. Now back up top. Stone and Hoffman actually at the top here as Silverberg comes up with the puck and sends it down the ice. Palmieri back out. So the Senators 0 for 2 here in this first period. Got a pair of shots on goal on that second advantage. But now it's Perry, Getzlaf, and Palmieri back out. Pumpel trying to clear, unable to do so. Getzlaf across. Perry a shot, and Hammond's got that. The rebound right to Perry. Getzlaf looking to center. It'll come back to the point. Manson swings it deep. Ryan Getzlaf's got it again. Ceci trying to stay with him. 12 points in 8 career games for Getzlaf against Ottawa. And he comes off the wall, going to the net, and the centering pass intercepted by Pumpel. He'll backhand it down the ice too far. An icing call, and Ottawa won't get a change that they might have wanted against the Getzlaf unit.
Ryan Getzlaf is so dominant down low, strength on the puck. Little turnover in their own zone. Getzlaf actually has a lane. He wants to throw it to a bad angle on Hammond or to Perry, who fires it on Hammond. But now they start to cycle the puck. There's tremendous chemistry there, but it's also about Getzlaf just controlling. Cody Ceci trying to play the angles to keep him to the outside, but if Getzlaf wants to hold on to the puck, there's not too many guys in the league that are going to get it away from him. 39
assists on the year for Getzlaf, 27 primary assists. That's tops in the NHL. Legwand on the draw, wins it for the Senators. Ceci up ahead, flipped that out of play. And we'll see where that hit the linesman here. Looks like
I think it hit Steve Miller, the linesman. Yeah, he's down. He's in some real trouble that they're calling for the trainers to come on. It looked like Cody Ceci tried a little chip play to just get it up and off the glass to relieve some pressure so they could get a clean change, and Miller a casualty of that.
Athletic therapist Jerry Townsend out very quickly to aid Steve Miller.
I hope he's all right. He's a veteran of 15 years.
Take another look at how this happened after a face-off win by Legwand.
Legwand pops it back, and Ceci's just going to skate it up and try and chip it out. And it looks like it actually wasn't a puck, it was a stick off the draw.
So Miller continues to get attention. 5:35 left, first period. And we'll be right back. Well, we hope Steve Miller's okay. He's been taken to the Anaheim room for repairs after he gets clipped with the top of Legwan's stick.
You can see it right there. Legwan wins the draw, but the top of his stick goes right across the side of the face of Steve Miller, and he wears a visor. Taking all the precautions to make sure to protect himself out here, and it's just an accident where David Legwan's stick comes up and catches him. You hope that he's all right. As I mentioned before, he's a long-standing official that's really respected and been in the league a long time, so you hope that he's all right.
So another face-off in that same spot to the right of Hammond. William Karlsson is called up on the draw against Pajot, who prevailed for Ottawa. Nate Thompson was injured against Detroit, so that necessitated the move to bring up Karlsson for his second stint with Anaheim. And now a face-off back in the Duck zone. Ducks have a list of injuries, including Sammy Vatanen, who had been playing so well. A face-off win, and that shot drilled wide by Karlsson. Condra sends it across right off Gibson from a bad angle in the corner. Eric Condra, who has the goal, and 6 points in this 5-game point streak for the Senators. Working along the boards, trying to center. Ducks up with it. And out they come. Rene Bourque, the former Calgary Flames, stopped up by Methot at center. And now back to Beauchemin.
Rene Bourque has been well-traveled lately. Montreal now to Anaheim. He's been on that fourth line, so he's got to work his way up the lineup if he wants to continue and further on his career. But he's been wildly inconsistent. Had a nice playoff for the Canadiens last year, but consistency has been his knock.
Centering pass by Zibanejad. It was just hooked wide by Bobby Ryan in front of the net. Not much on it as he was tied up, but able to redirect the puck. Hoffman now plays in front, and pouncing on that is young John Gibson.
You see Yuri Sakash comes over in the trade for Devontae Smith-Pelly. Two up-and-coming players. You know, I like the trade for both organizations. Smith-Pelly's a big, strong guy, and I think that's what the Montreal Canadiens need on the wing. And Sakash is a skilled player who can handle himself, but it'll be interesting to see how he settles in this organization. Looks like Bruce Boudreau will give him a little bit of more free rein to use that skill set.
There's a turnover at the line. Ryan unable to get loose. And now Ducks to the attack over the line. A Kessler shot goes off a leg. Borowiecki watching him as Ryan unable to control a bouncing puck. In behind the net, it's Gryba. Takes a hit, trying to stay on it. Kessler centers, and Hoffman there for Ottawa. Up ahead, a give-and-go play, and Hoffman was nearly away. Now it's Hoffman in the zone to that far side. Ceci steps up. Kyle Turris in behind the net. Chops it for Ryan. Takes a look in the slot. Hoffman, a shot right on. Stopped by Gibson. And Kessler will get control. Silverberg across. The veteran Beauchemin, who is UFA at the end of the season, but not expected to be going anywhere. Looks like both he and the Ducks are going to be able to agree on a new deal to stay here. Getzlaf finds Palmieri a shot, and that's knocked down en route. Turris lost it as Palmieri crashed in there. Ceci pried it loose. Wirkosh up the boards and out of the reach of Fowler down the ice.
Well, there's some decisions, like you said, even at the national or at the Ottawa Senators table that have to be made on guys like Condra. See what they're going to be able to do move forward. He's going to be a pending unrestricted free agent. Patrick Wirkosh has been dangled, you hear, so it'll be interesting to see what Brian Murray does at the deadline.
Perry sends it to the net. Out comes Hammond, and he'll cover up with Perry diving over top of him.
Well, you know that Corey Perry is going to drive hard to the net on every shift. Andrew Hammond does a really good job of making the initial save and then fighting for the rebound. Getzlaf strong across the blue line. Palmieri just throws it to the net, or Perry throws it to the net and then comes right across and tries to dig away for that rebound. A little redirection by Palmieri at the last second. Hammond fronts it and then fights for the rebound.
There's mom and dad able to watch for the first time. They were in Phoenix when their son registered his first National Hockey League win last week. The 42 save performance against the Canadiens, making the shorter trip here to Anaheim for start number 3 of his NHL career.
And you can see his mom videotaping the Jumbotron as her son made a nice save.
What a throw for them. Here's Ricard Raquel. They're showing a little bit more emotion than the goaltender, who has been very cool and poker faced throughout this stretch, which has been the most memorable of his hockey career.
Yeah, tough to get a read on him because he's so calm and cool, but you love the fact that he's seized this opportunity. You see his parents, I mean, it's so amazing, it's so thrilling. Obviously for a young player to get an opportunity in the National Hockey League. I know Andrew Hammond's just turned 27 years old, so he's battled through the ranks to get there, but for them to see him live, it's a thrill. And I know, talking to my parents, they were beside themselves when they got an opportunity to watch me play.
Meanwhile, Andrew's been as cool as a hamburglar.
Very poised though. The first game it didn't go so well when he came in relief duty, but almost got those jitters out of the way and settled in and was able to prepare and had 2 nice starts in a row, and so far so good in this one.
Under 2 minutes left, opening period. Borowiecki moved down the boards to hold the zone, and now an outlet by Lindholm. That's too far. Sliding down into Ottawa ice. Senators back to get it, but up come the Ducks with the puck running. Bourque out of the corner, and that hit the side of the net. Karlsson warded off there by Borowiecki. And up ahead on the right side, Matt Pumpel. He'll chip and chase. The former Peterborough Pete goes after it, Gibson out of the net. And Anaheim moves it ahead. Eric Brewer sent it to center. Zibanejad back, and Wiercioch has the puck. Deflected in to the zone off the stick of Ryan. Gibson will hand it off to Eric Brewer. There's Cam Fowler for Silverberg. Not able to get it out the first time into the final minute of this opening frame.
The Senators have done a very good job of trying to limit time and space to the Ducks. Early on, the Ducks' pace was quite high, and you were concerned that this could be an ugly period if they didn't elevate their play, but they've taken it to them in the last 10 minutes of this period.
And that's exactly what Coach Dave Cameron mentioned to us prior to the game. Key to beating Anaheim is limiting time and space. Puck knocked off the stick out to center, and Silverberg gains the possession, tried to bring it back in and lost it to Ryan. Far side, Kessler. One last push here by the Ducks here in the opening period. Trying to answer, Kessler backhand, and it rolls into the corner. He's tied up, and then upends the Senator, and Ryan Kessler's going to get the gate, and it will be Anaheim shorthanded for the 3rd time in this first period.
That's going to be a tripping penalty on Kessler. He ends up getting a stick between the legs of Milan Michalek. He's not happy about it. He's chirping into the box, but it's the right call. Kessler fighting for position. Michalek tries to get the inside. He scoops out the legs of Michalek at the last second.
Offensive zone penalty.
That's 2.
And
the Ducks.
And one of their premier penalty killers in the box.
You have to take advantage of that because Kessler is so good at killing penalties. Make them pay where he's off the ice.
So Turris on the draw, 48% on the season, and then he gets waived, so it will be Michalek. Turris and Stone on the left flank. Karlsson poised at the point. And Getzlaf prevails. Lindholm will send it around, and that will do it for the opening period. 10-9 the shots, favoring Anaheim, but Eric Condro with the deflection goal off a shot from Eric Greiba. And it's 1-0 after 1 for the Ottawa Senators as we send it back to the studio. With the panel is James Duthie. Second period with the man advantage, and you'd like to see some alterations and maybe getting into the zone and better setup for this 3rd power play.
You've got to find a way. If you're given opportunities to play on the power play, you have to get the puck towards the net and get set up in the offensive zone. And The challenge is the Anaheim Ducks are so aggressive in the neutral zone. They're limiting time and space. Now when you do get set up, you've got to jam it towards the net and create second opportunities. And the Senators haven't been able to do that consistently. And you've got to challenge John Gibson and make sure that not only is there bodies in his eyes, but there's creating opportunities for that second and third shot. So you get an opportunity here early on in the second period with clean ice. Guarantee Coach Dave Cameron, that would be the message from him, is to make sure to get set up, keep it simple, and get it to the net and hammer away for second and third shots.
Saw Erik Karlsson, who had 2 shots in that opening period, 5 shot attempts, 19 points on the power play so far this year. Bobby Ryan with 3 power play goals, and there is Kesler in the box. 1:51 of power play time to start this second period. The Senators beginning with the lead, and Ryan's got the puck with Chiasson and Zibanejad as they invade the zone. Play back to the right point. Karlsson across into the middle for Wiercauch. Zibanejad in the high slot as Chiasson plants himself in front of the net. Here is Ryan, a backhand, and Gibson with the stop. That come up and hit him in the mask.
It was a real nice play. He may have touched it with the mask at the last second, but nice little give and go play between Zibanejad and Bobby Ryan. Start a little cycle play right through the triangle of Francois Beauchemin, and Bobby Ryan almost projecting that he's going to throw that puck back door for Chiasson. Instead, he goes short side and tries to catch Gibson coming off that post, but terrific work to move that puck around and get things towards the net. Gibson doesn't bite on the play.
Steve Miller has not returned. The linesman hit in the face by David Legwand's stick in the opening period, so 3 officials working the game now as Stone sends it back to Karlsson. Gets to the middle of the ice, a shot deflected and it hit the post. Grazed the goal post past John Gibson. Stone after it again. In there to help out is McCulloch. Karlsson gets it across. Wiercauch shot, and that's blocked in. Cam Fowler on the limp after that shot block.
Wiercauch tries to fire it around him, and Fowler gets a good chunk of it with his right shin pad, and he's certainly on the limp right now.
And Brewer fanned on the clear. Ottawa gets it back. Here's Stone. Karlsson, the one-timer. That's blocked, and this time it's Emerson Edom getting the effects of that one. So a couple of critical blocks. Edom looks like he's okay as he tries to skate into the zone. It'll be offside, so he has to tag up. But first Fowler, and now Edom heading off. Karlsson at the controls. A last dash into the zone along with Zibanejad. Can't get the shot away, and it's knifed out by a sprawling Ryan Getzlaf.
It's good work again at the blue line by the Anaheim Ducks to limit time and space and able to really jet it all the way down 200 feet to kill off the last part of the penalty.
Here come the Senators, although Anaheim back at full strength as Kessler's return to the ice. It'll be Ryan off the boards, hounded by Kesler. Centering pass in front of Gibson, down with Zibanejad on the doorstep. John Gibson holds on.
Go back to the power play. Erik Karlsson's going to get a good opportunity toward the net. Stone throws it back. Karlsson takes some ice for himself. You see the high tip. McCulloch and Turris providing some layers in front of John Gibson. It goes off the outside of the net. Cam Fowler gets in the lane and blocks Wiercauch's shot, and then Emerson Edom shows some courage. Takes a pretty hard slap shot as well. So that's a good job by the Anaheim Ducks getting in the lane. And if you're going to provide a screen for your goaltender, at least get a good chunk of the puck, and both of your defenders did.
Here's Mathot trying to get it to the net. Does! The rebound was shot wide. A close call there as Pajot nearly cashed a rebound on the initial shot. Just get the puck to the net, and that's what Mark Mathot did.
Well, it's real good work. Again, Mathot finds a way to get it down to the net. Pajot pounces on the rebound, but just misses by inches as it was a juicy rebound that came off of the left pad of Gibson.
Here's Condren deep. He swung it toward the net, and Gibson held the post to make the stop. Pretty good start. They didn't score on the power play, but seemed to have a little momentum. But now Getzlaf and Perry check in for duty. Here's Lazar. Perry stepped into him, but Pajot is out to the red line. He'll chip it in. Bounce off the stanchion, and Anaheim gets control. In the midst of a change as Cogliano plays it deep. Edom hustling in on the forecheck. Borowiecki moves it quickly, and it's out to center. David Legwand into the zone. Watched by Brewer, sends it to the net, and Gibson absorbs that and holds on.
Chris, you talk about Marc Methot getting the puck to the front of the net. He does just this, and you can see Pajot mirroring the puck, getting in the eyes of Gibson, and then the rebound comes off of his left pad, and he just is able to fire it a little bit wide as there was a slight hook on the backside of him, but good work by Pajot to get set up in front, and a good work by Methot to get it down towards the net.
Face off to the right of Gibson. And here's Hoffman from a short angle, scores! Rebound goal, Mika Zibanejad, and the Senators lead by 2.
This is great work by Zibanejad to get inside position on Ryan Kesler to put the rebound in. But it all starts back at the draw. Zibanejad gets inside position on that and wins it. Now goes through the front of the net. Hoffman throws it towards the net. And a lively rebound from a bad angle pops right out. And as I said, Zibanejad on the right side of the puck. Kesler can't get underneath his stick, and Zibanejad just deposits it in the wide open net for the Senators to get up 2-0 in this game. But that all starts from winning a face-off and then getting into position, and good work by funneling it towards the front of the net.
Boy, Hoffman's got that quick release. That time it caused a rebound, and Zibanejad pounces on it for his 15th of the year. And the shot advantage here in the second period, not even 4 minutes in, is 7-0 in favor of the Senators.
It's real good work by the Senators to push the pace up. Started on the power play with creating some good opportunities, and they've carried that momentum here into the next couple minutes.
Brewer in, a quiet building right now, but a reminder, Ducks were trailing the other night into the third period 2-0, and they scored 3 times in less than 4 minutes. They've been following this pattern of late of being slow starters. Here's Sakach in behind the net, trying to come out in front, looking to make a first impression with his new team. Now Raquel tied up. Manson unable to hold it in. And back in his own zone. It'll be played up on the right side. Raquel over the line. Blockered away by Hammond. The rebound. Edom took a whack at that. Now Gryba. Edom watching him. Cogliano there to stop his progress. Played to the point. Gets past Manson. He'll have to go back to get it.
You're seeing the Senators play a lot more comfortable as they get to know Andrew Hammond in the net. He popped that rebound up, but they did a very good job of just clearing it to the corner and keeping everything away from the front of the net. As you get to know a goaltender's tendencies, what he likes, what the call is on the back end, that comfort level just raises.
Good play by Maroon to get the puck for him. Anaheim, the shot from Lindholm doesn't get through, and sent out to center. Hampus Lindholm, who has the best plus-minus of any defenseman in the league in the last 2 years, +49. Good-looking young defenseman, and again, Anaheim without the service of Sami Vatanen, who had 12 goals, 7 power play goals, and a solid season until he suffered an injury.
Chris, you talk about a guy like Lindholm. He doesn't get enough play because not a lot of people out east stay up to watch the Anaheim Ducks every night. If he played in Toronto or one of the big name markets, Ottawa, Montreal, he'd be a household name for his product and his work.
But the plus side of that is that magnifying glass you talk about in Toronto or Montreal isn't quite as intense.
Yeah, you're right, the scrutiny. But he quietly just does his job out here in Anaheim, and like you said, they found themselves a special player.
Dangerous breakout pass, but Legwand able to deflect it out of harm's way. Now Cece's got it at center, and he'll bounce it down just wide of Gibson. Fowler back to get it, so no ill effects of the shot block earlier in the period. Brewer wheeling through center, former Canadian Olympian. over the line, and Getzlaf is stopped. There's Ryan taken down. Getzlaf ends up on top of him, and it's played to the Ottawa bench. Hit somebody there, so play is halted. Mika Zibanejad with his 15th from Hoffman and Ryan. And it's 2-0 Ottawa in Anaheim. Join hosts Ian Mendez and Gord Wilson after every home game for All Access. Presented by Bell, live on the Sens website and mobile app. We're 7 minutes into the second period here.
Little dangerous middle play here by Matt Pumpel, and Ryan Getzlaf says, welcome to the league here in your second game in the National Hockey League. And Getzlaf, a big, strong centerman. Pumpel with that's a confident play to make that 10-foot pass to the middle for support. He has to pay a price from Getzlaf.
Pumpel made his debut against Florida on Saturday. 8 minutes and 41 seconds of work in his debut. Another penalty upcoming against Anaheim. We'll see the Senators for the 4th time on the power play, unless they score with Andrew Hammond going to the bench for an extra attacker.
And it's a neutral zone play again. Bruce Boudreau will not be happy about it. You can see that Anaheim's trying to close time and space on the Senators, but just reckless with their sticks, and another tripping penalty coming up.
And as you mentioned, Boudreau, I looked down toward the bench and you could see that he was
steaming,
addressing his troops.
Well, it is. It's Yuri Sekash. He's going to head off, but Boudreau frustrated and visibly frustrated. As you can see, Mike Hoffman just tries to take some ice for himself. Nice little move at the last second. Sekash reaches in and trips him, and there's no doubt on that call. Now the Senators get another opportunity to hammer away at John Gibson here. They've got to find a way to convert on these power plays.
Well, they didn't score on the last. It was better, and it caused the momentum that led to the second goal by Zibanejad, who now has 3 in 3 games against Anaheim. Karlsson shot bouncing through. Good keep at the line by Wiercott. Stone can't handle the hot pass. Manson overskates it, but now the Ducks are in. Getzlaf across in front with Cogliano streaking down, and you have to be wary with number 7, the speedy Andrew Cogliano, in a short-handed role.
He wants to jump on every play, and Getzlaf just holds onto the puck and chips to space, and Cogliano skates into it.
Turris wraps it around. Wiercott plays it in behind the net. Stone gives it back to Turris as they set up in the zone. Karlsson across. Patrick Wiercott sends it toward the net, and it's swatted away and bounces out.
That was good work by Mark Stone to get in front of the net on John Gibson. And the one thing that has been consistent, and from a message from Coach Dave Cameron, is net front presence. Hammer away at these goaltenders, especially a big goaltender like John Gibson, who can look over top of you if he doesn't look around you.
Puck ricocheted to Fowler, and he'll send it 200 feet. And as we approach 9 minutes of the second period, 40 seconds remaining in this 4th Ottawa power play. Ryan down the right flank. Bobby Ryan holds. Back for Karlsson. Over on the far side, a shot goes wide. Ryan had it knocked away from him. Puck cleared by Lindholm.
It's such a luxury to wheel out 2 elite players on the penalty kill, Getzlaf and Perry. Then you have Bolsheman and Lindholm on the back end. That's a lot of skill that can, as you pointed out, Chris, be dangerous shorthanded.
Ryan sends it back. Legwand across. Hoffman's in the slot as they work it down from the corner. And Bobby Ryan, the former Duck, put it on net, and the rebound got by Legwand, who was attacking. Hoffman at center, knocked it away, and there is Legwand trying to hook it back in for the second period goal scorer, Zibanejad. Ryan Kesler takes over, and the Ducks have killed another.
The one thing about the Ducks is you never count them out. They had the big third period against Detroit the other day, and all it takes is one shot on goal for them to get some momentum and get their game in order.
In that game, they had 10 shots in the first 40 minutes. They have 11 here tonight, but the shots are 10-1 Ottawa here in the second period. Lead pass, and now Condra's in with Pajot going to the net. Here's Lazar's shot, and That one stopped. He gets his own rebound. Condra along the wall. Trying to give it back to Lazar. Broken up, and back come the Ducks. It'll be chipped in by Maroon. The St. Louis native goes after it, and Hammond backhands it away from him.
I've been very impressed with Andrew Hammond's puck handling skills. It's simple, but smart plays.
Turris with the shot, gloved high by John Gibson, and we'll get a break. Andrew Hammond's look sharp, and the Senators have a 2-goal lead here in the second.
On the left, Andrew Hammond. On the right, Chris Driedger. Not a lot of experience in net for the Ottawa Senators, and not a lot of experience in this game. Just check out the starts. John Gibson, including tonight, with his 11th start this season. Andrew Hammond with his 3rd. LaBarbera's only started 2 games for the Ducks. And Driedger yet to have a game in the National Hockey League. So not a wealth of experience in the nets on both ends.
Frederik Andersen out of the lineup, injured. Net fell on him a couple of weeks ago. Stuck on 29 wins, and they're not sure when he will be back. Out of the corner, Kessler, and he lost control of the puck. Drive up to Turris, up on the left side. McCulloch will bounce it down on John Gibson, who comes out, and he's going to have to smother that with Stone on the scene for the Senators.
Well, John Gibson's 8th start in a row for the Ducks. And you mentioned Frederik Andersen out with the head injury, I guess it is, where the net fell on him. What's happened is it's an unfortunate injury because you open the door for the goalie of the future for the Anaheim Ducks, and Coach Bruce Boudreau has an opportunity to go to him and give him a run of starts to see if he can settle in. So it's a tough injury for Andersen because you're potentially opening the door to never get to play back.
Sakatch trying to give it back to Lindholm with the give and go, and Andrew Hammond smothers that.
From Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
It's a little different situation. Andrew Hammond's 27 years old, still trying to solidify himself within the organization. Robin Lehner, goalie of the future and the goalie of now at 23 years old. Greg Anderson, who's been banged up for the last month with the badly bruised blocker hand, just starting to get a couple practices underneath his belt, but Hammond has done no harm to raise his stock.
Shot kicked out by Hammond there on the point drive from Beauchemin. Corey Perry's on the ice along with Getzlaf. And Sakatch, as he gets a chance to drive up front with the big guys. Puck centered, and Zibanejad back there defensively. Good play by Zibanejad. Mark Mathot taking over. He lost it. Getzlaf, Sakatch, Perry crashing the zone, and a little push there from Zibanejad. The net comes off and halts play, and maybe a good subtle play by Zibanejad to get a whistle.
It was a great subtle play because Perry had position, and you could see Andrew Hammond fighting to find the puck behind the net. It's going to cycle down low. Hammond pops it loose. Now it goes behind. Little turnover. The thought turns it over as well, and now they're trying to find an angle to get the puck out to the front of the net. Perry tries to get that inside position, and Zibanejad just gives him a little shove from behind, knocks him into the net, then knocks it off, and that's why the faceoff is in the zone. But good play by Zibanejad to kill the play.
First, Boudreau is reconfiguring his lines, looking for a little offense here. Now he's got Raquel. Palmieri dropped back on this line, along with Emerson Edom, and back in they come. Here's Palmieri. A shot, Hammond the save, and is able to hold on to the rebound. Little look back as if he wasn't sure, but is able to get a whistle.
A little scary moment there because Hammond, you could almost see lose his sight or lose his track of the puck. Turnover in the neutral zone. Palmieri's just going to try and find a lane and then throw it towards the net. Hammond with the original left pad save, and the rebound is just jousted towards the net and almost finds a seat between the legs, and Hammond able to corral it at the last second.
Ducks in charge in the Pacific Division and went through a lull a couple of weeks ago, 3-6-1. That shot blocked as Stoner can't get it through against Lazar. They got back on their game with 3 consecutive wins, including the shootout victory over Detroit 2 days ago, but Right now, Ottawa has been the better team. 2-0 with the lead here. And an edge in play in the second period. 7:07 to go here in the second. And that shot off Borowiecki, bouncing in behind the net. Palmieri looks for it along with Edom. There's Pumpel trying to clear it off the skate. And moving ahead is Cody Ceci. Over the line, sends it in on Gibson, and he'll hold on.
Cody Ceci getting an opportunity to play a lot of minutes. It wasn't long ago that he was a healthy scratch, just gave him a step back to watch from up top, and he's been able to respond with some pretty good games. And he's a guy who has the world ahead of him at 21 years old, and he's getting a lot of experience on the job, averaging 19 minutes and 26 seconds a night. He's done a pretty good job for the most part, having a good season for the Senators. The future's real bright for him.
Legwand won a draw in the Anaheim zone. Brewer trying to get it out. He was stopped up. Legwand along the wall, played by him. Gryba dashes back for it. And across to Borowiecki. Chiasson redirects it out. Legwand in pursuit, chopped away from him by Eric Brewer. And now Fowler onto the right side, speeding in is Cogliano. Hot shot, and Hammond got a piece of that, and I think it grazed the post also.
It grazed the outside of the post, but that was Andrew Cogliano with speed, changing his angle off the wall, and Andrew Hammond just waved at it, may have got a chunk of it, but it certainly hit the post.
Cogliano playing in his 602nd consecutive game. Got an interference call coming up, and the Ducks gaining a little momentum, and now will go on the power play as Kyle Turris is off for interference.
Well, it's an interference call. As you see Turris heading to the box, shaking his head, not too happy with it, but he tries to get body position on Ryan Kessler, gets the left arm in there. Kessler sells it a little bit by moving his feet. And Andrew Cogliano with good speed down the wall. Hammond gets enough of it that it hits him and hits the post, but Cogliano, tremendous speed, shoots in stride and almost handcuffs Hammond at the last second. Cogliano is a real nice player. I watched him in Edmonton, and he had a couple 18-goal seasons, and then he settled into a real nice role here in Anaheim, and obviously the Iron Man streak underneath his belt. You don't want to jinx that, knock on wood for him, but he's a guy who's played every game since he started his career in the NHL.
Third most consecutive games to start an NHL career. Only Doug Jarvis and Andy Hebbeton played more games to start. So no injuries and no healthy scratches for Andrew Cogliano in his first 8 years. So now to the power play. Getzlaf, Perry, Maroon, a shot deflected by Perry wide of the net. Fowler and Beauchemin are out there. Getzlaf often plays the point, not in this situation. Pajot ahead, Condra to the attack, and that shot through the screen of Beauchemin.
It was a nice little play by Mark Methot to get it up to the winger so that they could get it out, but just a nice little pop play where he didn't panic with it to help exit the zone.
Stone a steal, and a quick shot goes wide. There's McCulloch firing it off target. Perry up ahead, and it reaches Beauchemin, dropping it, trying to hook up with Getzlaf. It doesn't work, and Stone played it off the official. Getzlaf able to turn it center and bring it right back in. Perry taps it deep. Getzlaf takes a look, gives it back to Perry. Now Lindholm at the point. The captain off the half boards. Hampus Lindholm. Back to Getzlaf. Shot is blocked. And Borowiecki's there, and again, no Sammy Vatanen, and that puck deflecting over the glass and out of play. Gives us a chance to remind you the Sens on TSN action continues tomorrow against the Kings in LA. Live coverage gets underway 10:30 Eastern, 11:30 Atlantic on TSN 5. The red hot LA Kings, now winners of 8 consecutive games. I think we've seen this movie before.
And they're sitting at home watching this on TV, probably on the couch or in bed, resting while the Senators are battling here.
Looking forward to that. 4.5 minutes to go here in the second, and less than a half minute remaining in the second Duck power play of the night. Lindholm brings them out. Pass deflecting high and reaches the seats.
There you see Hampus Lindholm, who's only 21 years old and having an outstanding season. 59 games now, 6 goals, 22 assists, and 28 points, but plus 20 on the season. You notice that we talked about before, he's not a household name. If he played in a Canadian market, you'd certainly see the type of fanfare that a guy like maybe Morgan Rielly gets in Toronto. Wonder how he would handle that.
Number 6 in 2012. Here's Beauchemin. Dumping it into the corner. First man after it for the Ducks was Kessler, but Zibanejad beat him to it. Silfverberg holds the zone. Kessler from the corner. And now Turris out of the box, trying to get back into the play as Lindholm was open, but they don't get the pass to him. Now a shot off the side of the net. Close call there. Beauchemin moves up. In behind, it'll be Rennie Cork, and Hammond got a piece of that. Played back to the point again. Across for Lindholm, off his skate. Hampus Lindholm in deep, trying to center, and that's denied by Ryan. Puck comes loose, and Karlsson will skate away. Erik Karlsson ahead was Zibanejad, dashing in, back for Karlsson, in behind him. There, Kyle Turris in on the rush as well. A dangerous counterattack there by Ottawa.
Well, all made possible because Erik Karlsson just skates it out of trouble. A lot of other defensemen would have just iced it.
Well, we got Bobby Ryan in some trouble. I hope that's just a skate issue as he hobbles to the bench.
And right to the dressing room.
Back it comes for Clayton Stoner. Sending it wide, and Borowiecki knocked it back into the corner. Break back up top. Stoner fans, and Lazar's got it. Away goes Curtis Lazar. Into the middle it goes, and Legwand was tied up, and back comes Anaheim. With some speed, it was Emerson Edom, and he couldn't cut in on Karlsson. Now Stoner moves up, and that's off a stick and up onto the netting, out of play. 2:31 left here in the second. Shots are 21-18 in favor of Ottawa, and they lead 2-0. Erik Karlsson, Mark Methot. And Karlsson credits Methot with the way he has played of late, but he can also be thankful that Mark Methot's breakfast was paid for this morning by Erik Karlsson.
And that's a rap you can never get away from. They'll call him Alligator Arms for the rest of the season. And obviously some gentle ribbing there. As you know, Methot's, I'm sure, very generous, but and you make one mistake like that, walk away from a check and have somebody else have to pick it up, you will not shake that potentially, not only for the rest of the season, but maybe the rest of your career.
I'm not sure how often that happens amongst NHL players, but it certainly happens a lot among broadcasters, I think.
That's where you forget your wallet, or when the bill comes, you casually just walk to the bathroom.
A lot of deep pockets and short arms in this industry. Under 2 minutes to go here in the second period. Ducks with a bit of a push as McCulloch now sends it out. Now a race for it. Stone trying to beat Fowler to it. He does, and then Fowler taps it off his stick. Stone gets it back. Good work by Mark Stone, who's been terrific of late. He'll get it back to the point. Swung in deep, McCulloch after it here. That line that's been so good in recent weeks. Turris, McCulloch, and Stone. There is a rolling puck shot in by Methot, stopped by Gibson. Along the boards, Karlsson moves up to try and seal things there, and Maroon tied up by Turris. Getting it loose was Raquel.
That was great work by Mark Stone to help create that chance, and he wins a foot race against Cam Fowler, and then he's able to hold on to the puck down low, and it ends up working its way back to the point for a shot on goal. But it's all about the hustle of Mark Stone.
We should update that when Bobby Ryan hobbled off, it was because of a skate issue, not an injury. And that skate continues to get repairs, and We haven't seen Ryan back yet, and we're into the final minute of the second period as Pajot able to chip it out. Lindholm beat Condra to the puck, otherwise it might have been an odd man rush for Ottawa.
That's good work by the Senators. Support on the wall and just advance the puck and flush the puck out of the zone so that Anaheim can't get any sustained pressure towards the net.
Big boys back out for one last shift here in the second for Anaheim. Getzlaf, Perry, along with the newcomer Sakach. And Ottawa gets it out to center. Love to take this 2-goal lead to the dressing room after 40 minutes. And not much time left for Anaheim to change that score. In behind the net, looking for it now. Cogliano gets it back to the point. Beauchemin, clock winding down, put it in front. It's knocked away, and the horn sounds. So we're through 2 periods. Mika Zibanejad scoring in the second, and after 2, it's 2-0 Ottawa. As we rejoin James Duthie and the guys. Period summary is brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it. Mika Zibanejad with his 15th of the year, his first on the road in 13 games early. Senators had a 10-1 shot on goal advantage early in that second period, and they lead 2-0 as we head to period number 3. A lot of positives in that quick start by the Senators in the second period. We felt a push from Anaheim late in the second, but all in all, a very good 2 periods of road hockey for Ottawa.
I thought that second period was outstanding on a lot of different fronts for the Senators because they kept it simple. Everything was towards the net, and you could see there was a formula towards it, whether it was on the power play or on 5-on-5. It was straight line hockey. Get that net front presence, whether you're going to have redirections or hammer away at rebounds. And when you have that type of mentality, all 4 lines and the defensemen are on the same page, you're going to get some juicy rebounds off the goaltender's pads. You're going to get a favorable bounce here or there, and I thought they did a terrific job of funneling pucks right to that front. And Zibanejad able to get that rebound off the left pad of Gibson to make it 2-0. But we see that Senators did a terrific job. Let's see if they can sustain it in the third.
And good to see Steve Miller back.
Yes.
For the third period, we saw him shaken up in the first period of play. 3 officials in the second, but
he's a warrior. Not only the players are warriors, but the linesmen and refs are as well.
So Ottawa trying to end a 3-game Anaheim win streak, trying to win 3 in a row for the first time since mid-October. But 2 nights ago it was 2-0 for the visiting Detroit Red Wings, and Anaheim came back with 3 in a hurry. So
well, you have to guard against that. You can't get lazy. You have to have good habits and make sure you support the puck all over the ice, and Anaheim can make you pay.
Here comes Ottawa. Mark Stone into the zone. His shot, and bowled over is John Gibson. In the net as Kyle Turris crashes the crease, and play is stopped.
Well, it's a little stop-up play by Mark Stone, and Turris, like they did in the second period, Turris drops it off and then goes right to the front of the net. Gets pushed in by Fowler right over top of Gibson. I'm against plays like that. I don't know why time and time again defensemen push offensive players on top of the goaltender. Just a recipe for disaster as far as not only rebounds but potential injury. Got to find a way to clear them out of the blue paint, maybe beside the goaltender.
Turris with 4 goals in his last 5 games. There's Fowler turning back away from the pressure and up to Getzlaf, gives it away at center. Hoffman trying to hook up quickly with Ryan on this left wing, and Fowler breaks that up. Hoffman on the forecheck. Getzlaf with the long lead feed off Perry to center ice. Mark Borowiecki will play it back, and here comes Zibanejad. Mika Zibanejad, the goal in each of his 3 games against the Ducks. Shot stopped by Gibson for a face-off in the Anaheim zone.
Well, Mika Zibanejad getting more opportunity to progress his game forward, playing just over 16 minutes a game right now, averaging, and 15th goal of the season. This is somebody that the Senators want to build around, and he's only 21 years old, so he's got a long ways to go as far as his progression, but we've seen an elevation in his play as of late.
Weirkosh sends it wide of the net. Senators on it. Eric Condra feeds the other point. Here's Ceci, shot doesn't get through. Ricochets right back to him. Weirkosh looks for a shooting lane and puts it right on. Kicked out by Gibson. And the Ducks clear, but a good start for Ottawa here in the opening 2 minutes of the third.
That was a real nice play by Weirkosh to find that lane, and it wasn't a big slap shot. It was a good snapshot that was able to find its way to John Gibson when he kicked that one out a good 20 feet away from his net.
Weirkosh playing 12 minutes in the opening 2 periods. Here's a pass ahead, and out comes Raquel, dropping it off to Palmieri. He is checked and turning back the other way, Legwand. Along with Pumpel, who made that defensive play. Carlson wires it. Hot shot, takes a bite out of Gibson. And that has stung Gibson, who's a little slow to get up.
He's shaking that off. That was an absolute laser beam by Carlson.
Now in comes Maroon. Patrick Maroon stopped. And the rebound out in front. And Ottawa will sweep that away. Gibson still trying to shake off the effects of the shot from Carlson a few seconds earlier. Stretching out the arm.
And nose hurt. Raises the collarbone. It depends on if it hits a soft spot in your arm and chest, but John Gibson just certainly stretching out that blocker side.
Now puck centered in front, and good defensive play there by Turris. Away goes Stone, and Turris catching up on the play. As the shot comes in and a rebound, Gibson handles it. Still don't think he's feeling very comfortable back there.
He's got to fight through it, but that's the one thing that you have to admire. Gibson wants to fight through that pain. The adrenaline's going, and you'll certainly feel that a lot later when the game settles down and it's out of his mind a bit.
Shots are 5-1 here early in the third period. It was a 10-1 shot start in the second for Ottawa. Gibson out to tee it up for Brewer. Played it around to the far side. Zibanejad on the scene, and now Ryan in behind the Anaheim net. The former Duck up to the point. Ceci plays it back in deep. Zibanejad reaching for it. Now Weirkosh ventures down low. Eric Brewer wraps it off the stick of Cogliano, but not out yet. Good play here. Weirkosh tried to kick it for Hoffman. And the Senators winning a lot of battles in the Anaheim zone.
Well, they're all over the puck, and their pace has been really good, and they're trying to, we keep talking about it with Coach Dave Cameron, spoke to us before the game and how he had preached to his players, limit the time of the space of the Anaheim Duck players so they are not allowed to use that skill set.
Weirkosh trying to spring McCulloch in deep after the puck. It comes loose, play to the point. Weirkosh across. Here's Carlson, can't get it through. And out comes Manson, the young defenseman, lugging it in. Carlson back defensively, neatly took it away, swings it around the boards and back down into the Anaheim zone. And they're going to rule no icing. Clayton Stoner back to play it with Mark Stone on him. Stone and Stoner.
That's on you, not on me.
Outlet to head and to the attack. Raquel can't sift his way through center, but he'll get it back, and now Palmieri dashing in. Palmieri with the move and lost it as he tried to cut to the net against Carlson. Here's Lindholm. Dumped it into the corner. Carlson there, and he'll knock it out.
Erik Karlsson's had an outstanding shift, and he works the dots so well and keeps the puck to the outside and is able to angle his stick.
Stepped up there on Palmieri again. The shot went wide, and Chiasson down the right side to the red line, drops it in. Legwand goes after it. Chiasson crashing in as well. He's got Pumpel in front to the stop by Gibson. Matt Pumpel looking for his first NHL goal, and a nice setup there from Alex Chiasson.
Well, it's a nice save by Gibson, but you're right. Chiasson does a terrific job. The forecheck, Legwand gets stick underneath. Chiasson just a soft little play. Pumpel getting hard to the net. He's able to get enough of it to send it 5-hole towards John Gibson, and Gibson gets the legs closed and he's able to corral the rebound. But Pumpel's had a nice game. He hasn't played a ton, but Nice defensive play in his last shift to create that Karlsson slap shot chance. In this one, getting hard to the front of the net. He's had a nice game so far in a limited role.
Just under 7 minutes through the opening 2 periods. So he looks like he's on pace for more ice time than in his NHL debut against Florida. Here's a chance. Silfverberg off the side of the net. The former Senator back to Brewer. Loads and fires, and that's off a leg and ricochets up into the seats. We played 6:21 of the third, and it remains 2-0 Ottawa. Player profile brought to you by Asante, providing complete financial advice. Guy who has a lot of fans here in Anaheim, 6 years with the Ducks. Bobby Ryan, and many of those fans made the trip to the practice facility in LA yesterday just to see the former player.
Well, Bobby Ryan was a popular player here, and when you develop some roots and lay them down within an organization, those fans don't go away. They stick with you for many years.
Guy who, in some ways, was slotted in behind Teemu Selanne for a long time. He has an assist in this game, 3 shots, +1. In a return, here's Mark Stone, hits the late man Greiba, and Moshman defending him. Greiba, whose shot was deflected for the first goal, and now it's back to the point. Wiercross plays it to an open wing. Getzlaf there, on the tape, ahead to Perry. Crisscrossing over the line with Maroon. Perry the shot, blocked by Cody Ceci. So now Patrick Maroon gets a shot with Getzlaf and Perry. We've seen Paul Mary, Sakach tonight. Getzlaf trying to get to the net, and good defensive play by Turris. Another shot, and Hammond stopped Perry. Corey Perry's 5th shot of the night, denied by Andrew Hammond. Another duck push from the top line, and it's rolled away by Ceci, who's still feeling the effects of a shot block, and he's trying to get off, and let's see if they'll let him off because he was injured.
They may allow him because of the injury, but Andrew Hammond makes a terrific save. Getzlaf just bullying his way to the net. Turris gets underneath his stick, but it goes right to Corey Perry, and Hammond able to get enough of it with the left pad, a rolling puck. It's a terrific play, and now Perry wires it towards the net. Cody Ceci catches that on the inside of his skate and is hobbling off.
Karlsson knocks down the centering attempt by William Karlsson. Just called up from the American Hockey League, so 38 against 65. A pair of Karlssons dueling, and William has the puck, threw it toward the net. That went wide. Stoner trying to hold the zone, and the puck along the boards is swung back in, and it deflects up onto the netting and out of play.
Cody Ceci walking it off, and you see Rennie Bourque, who came over earlier in the season from the Montreal Canadiens, has had a lukewarm start with the Anaheim Ducks, and you see Cody Ceci trying to shake it off, talking to the trainer. He took a hard slap shot from Corey Perry on the inside of that right foot. You hope that he's all right. A lot of times guys can shake it off during the game, but they take their foot out of their skate after the game and it swells up.
Jared Cowan serving the first of his 3-game suspension. Don't Chris Phillips. Here's Pajot trying to center, and it doesn't get across to Lazar. Back out break the Ducks. Up ahead it goes, sent in by Edom. Paul Mary turns back. It was a delayed offside. They've got to tag up on the play. That gives Ottawa room to move, and out they come. And to the attack, it's Lazar with Condra. Condra's shot broke the stick of Cam Fowler, who has to go to the bench. And there's Lazar in trying to disrupt things, and now he'll peel back and head to the bench on a chain.
I've been very impressed with the forecheck of the Ottawa Senators, really disrupting the Anaheim Ducks breakouts and any momentum through the neutral zone. So Senators playing a pesky game.
Ryan Philippe and Juliette Lewis star in the season premiere of Secrets and Lies, Sunday at 9 on CTV. Well, the template for how Ottawa wants to play was forged in the last 2 games, and they've done a terrific job here tonight on the road against one of the top teams in the NHL, approaching the midway mark of the third with the lead. And a face-off will stay in the Duck zone.
Mike Hoffman is playing with so much confidence, and I rave about him every time I'm on the broadcast of how he does everything at a high rate. Such a quick player, and he's so deceptive, and it's tough to defend when somebody does everything at top speed. And Hoffman has that ability to create that deception, not only to distribute the puck, but he has that wicked release.
Well, that quick release resulting in the second goal. The rebound cashed by Zibanejad. Hoffman, one of 4 Senators with 4 shots in the game, along with Erik Karlsson, Bobby Ryan, and Erik Condra. And here's Hoffman again. He's got some room and lost the handle that time on what looked like a dangerous opportunity emerging.
They created it out of nothing, just popping the puck over the stick of Beauchemin, and he's almost in alone if he was able to corral it.
Now he's hit hard along the boards, and Beauchemin got all of that checked. Back inside the Ottawa line. Deflected in, and Beauchemin took a little run at Ryan, who chopped back at him, and they're going at each other. And Borowiecki says, "I'll take over from here." Mark Borowiecki quickly getting the better of Beauchemin, who's not bad in that department.
No, he's a tough customer, but it all started on the wall where Beauchemin had crushed Hoffman, and then he stepped into Bobby Ryan. Bobby Ryan took exception, so gave him a little chop as he skated away, and Beauchemin went right back at him. Here's the initial hit through the body on Hoffman, who turns at the last second. Beauchemin heavy on him, and here's a second hit. Beauchemin finishes Bobby Ryan. Ryan doesn't like it, gives him a chop. Beauchemin goes right back at him, and Borowiecki, quick on the draw, he's going to jump right in and go right after Beauchemin. So you have to wonder what the calls will be heading into this, as clearly Borowiecki initiated the dropping of the gloves.
Don't see anything extra up on the board yet.
Now those are the types of penalties. I mean, Borowiecki is standing up for his teammate. We know what Bobby Ryan brings to the table. He's one of your skilled players. He's one of the leaders on the team. Borowiecki's a rugged defenseman who's not shy to drop the gloves. Neither is Francois Beauchemin. So he had to know that was coming.
Beauchemin's got a dangerous left hand, but didn't get a chance to use it.
Borowiecki was all over him, and obviously knew what Beauchemin could bring to the table.
Here are the penalties for Ottawa, number 74, Mark Borowiecki, and for the Ducks, number 23, Francois Beauchemin.
So major penalties to those 2 defensemen. We've passed the midway mark of the third period. Getzlaf back on the ice. And again, it's Patrick Maroon here in the third period as Bruce Boudreau looks for the right combination with Getzlaf and Perry. They've been reunited. They're still not sure who the third guy in that department is, as Chiasson is fencing with Maroon in front of the Ottawa bench.
Josh Manson skates over to have a word with him as well.
Here's Legwand, and he can't knock down the waist-high pass from Pumple. Chiasson was embroiled in the playoff series last year with the Dallas Stars and Anaheim Ducks.
You have to wonder, there's a little history that heads back to that.
Pass up the center. Palmieri and Sakic trying to bust through. Unable to do so. There's CC, who was on the limp earlier, starting the play as they send it into the Anaheim zone. And Palmieri is able to play it out. Kyle Turris back defensively. Wraps it around. It'll be held in by Brewer. Stone quickly on him, knocked it off his stick and back out to center. Boy, Mark Stone's been solid 200-foot performer here tonight.
He's been outstanding away from the puck and helping turn the puck over, using his speed and his body position. Again, strong on his stick to help exit the zone in that play.
Puck sent by McCulloch down the ice, and this will come back. An icing call against Ottawa.
The one play in the second period what was really impressive for me was Mark Stone was in a foot race, and he beat Fowler to the puck and then ended up controlling that puck down low. And you talk about the details of Stone's game. He's got a quick release, I think he has underrated speed. And here's the play from the second period. Just gets in, gets an opportunity, turns that puck over and holds on to it as well. That's just good cycling by Mark Stone. We talk about his play with the puck and away from it.
Pretty solid work by Ottawa here so far in the third period. They have limited the Ducks to 2 shots so far. Lindholm has to reboot out at center as he bobbled outside the line. Back in, glove stop, rebound, and haven't got a piece of that. On the rebound, chance for Cogliano. So back-to-back shots there. Ducks won't come much closer than that without scoring.
Well, the rebound hits Hammond's left pad and goes out the other end. Just a terrific play by him.
Here's Silverberg looking for his first point against his old team. Shot toward the net, knocked down en route. And out comes Ceci trying to flick the alley-oop for Curtis Lazar, and it slides all the way to John Gibson. Back-to-back chances, but they haven't found a way to beat Andrew Hammond yet. Visit the Senators' Facebook page after every win to vote on the March Man of the Match. And you could be a winner courtesy of Marks.
Well, Andrew Hammond stopped 85 of 88 shots so far as a starter. And this is a terrific sequence here. He gets enough of it off the Lindholm shot and then is able to get his left pad out as Cogliano almost has the 4x6 wide open to put it in the open net. And Hammond gets enough of it that it goes out the other end. He's been on fire, and I don't dare go near that dreaded word right now.
His save percentage, .966 as a starter. Breakaway, Bobby Ryan in alone, and he lost the handle and rolled wide. What a chance that was to maybe put this one away. Back in it slides, and Hammond will take the snow shower to cover up with Patrick Maroon on him. At the other end, Ryan with a missed opportunity to make it 3-0.
Well, let's call this a favorable bounce. Carlson rings it around, it hits the glass and pops right out to the middle. And Bobby Ryan skates into it, loses the handle at the last second, trying to settle down the puck. Go forehand, backhand, back to the forehand. And it just rolls away on him, and then he crashes hard into the boards.
That's a heavy tumble into the end boards.
Gibson stays with it, but Ryan tries to sell that move and just can't convert at the last second.
Again, they fire it out off a face-off win. And at center, Palmieri is hit as he dumps it down the ice, and that's enough for an icing call as Palmieri did not reach center.
Palmieri's had a couple opportunities in this game. Had an opportunity also to play with Getzlaf and Perry. And when you don't convert, you've got to find a way to make things happen. As we've seen Coach Bruce Boudreau have auditions on that top line. Maroon is kicked around there. Bolesky, he's injured. He's played with them. And you have to wonder at some point if Zajac gets an opportunity with him, as they just struggle to find chemistry.
I think we did see one shift with Zajac late in the second. Palmieri's had a couple of injuries this year that have slowed him up. He's on it now and loses the puck. Out breaks Mike Hoffman. Rink wide it goes. Ryan cruising down that flank against Eric Brewer, and he runs Brewer into the end boards. Tried to center it. Hoffman gets on the puck. Mike Hoffman will cycle it back. There's Brewer and Ryan bounces off the hit. Stays on the puck. Hooks it in for Hoffman. Trying to give it back. And then Hoffman knocked it off the stick for Kell. In front, Ryan stopped. Rebound, and Gibson's got that. And again, how quick is the stick of Mike Hoffman to turn that into a scoring chance for Ottawa?
Boy, that was an outstanding sequence as Ryan almost finishes it off for the goal. But Mike Hoffman had a potential turnover, and then he turns the puck back over. Zibanejad with a nice little play to get it to Ryan, who can't convert.
2 or 3 more scoring chances for Ryan here in the third period, and we're down to under 5.5 minutes left. Shots are 32-22. in the game in favor of Ottawa.
You have to love the fact that the Senators haven't taken their foot off the gas. You know, sometimes, especially on the road, you get a little bit tentative, sit back on a lead, but if anything, they push the pace up in this period.
Here's McCulloch, another shot. So the shot's now 11-4 in the third in favor of the Senators. Now it's sent past Turris down the ice, and an icing call against Anaheim. 4:54 on the clock.
And I talked about the turnover in the offensive zone, creating a chance to get the puck towards the net. Bobby Ryan, good strength on Eric Brewer. Gonna try and cycle that puck. Nice little play by Hoffman, and it gets turned over, but Hoffman ends up poking that puck loose. Zibanejad with a nice little curl play. Bobby Ryan drives hard to the net, gets the initial shot, and then the rebound. And then him and Palmieri get tangled up. And little wrestling move here at the last second as he throws Bobby Ryan down.
Anaheim had the best of the faceoffs in the second period, but the Senators have won a lot of draws here in the third. And Hammond will pounce on that and hold on. So 4:38 on the clock. Still 2-0 Sens. Canadian Tire Senators Hockey on TSN is brought to you by Bell Hockey Just Got Better. By Molson Canadian, diehard fan and proud partner of the Ottawa Senators. And by Scotiabank, you're richer than you think. Scotiabank. Senators trying to start a difficult 5-game road trip on the right foot. There's Boschman back along with Borowiecki after serving their 5-minute majors for fighting. That puck bouncing through, tipped with a high stick. And so play halted, and the faceoff will come back outside the line.
Well, you're going to see the pace elevate for the Anaheim Ducks. They try and cycle it down low. Cogliano on Mathot, it rolls around, and then the net front, Kessler reaches in. It's certainly a high stick, no question about that, as it rolls to the left of Andrew Hammond, and the faceoff back in the neutral zone.
And the Senators trying to withstand what is expected to be a late push here by the home side. Kessler on the ice with Cogliano and Silverberg. Puck bounced out off the wall and not deep enough for an icing call. Lindholm goes back to get it. The young defenseman starts out onto the left side. It'll be shot in by Cogliano. Kessler racing. Hammond just got rid of the puck, but not out. And now Kessler swings it back into the corner. Andrew Cogliano up top. Here comes the shot, knocked down, and it's Hoffman with the clear again.
A little bit too hard, though.
Yep.
A little bit too hard on the clear, and it rolls for the icing.
Well, Monday, Trade Center 2015, as you covered all day, beginning at 8 Eastern, 9 a.m. Atlantic on TSN and TSN Go. Every trade, every deal, everywhere you are, brought to you by Tim Hortons.
Coach Dave Cameron must be happy with his troops so far. First 56 minutes of this game, they've played as a team. They've been very aggressive in their own zone and helping exit the zone and limiting the high-quality scoring chances on Andrew Hammond.
Getzlaf, Perry, Palmieri back out there with those two. Chopped to center. Ryan goes to the bench. And now out comes Chiasson. He's trying to disrupt the Ducks on the forecheck. Here is Corey Perry. Up ahead, that doesn't work. And Eric Condra is going to deposit it right back in Anaheim territory.
Well, it's great positioning in the neutral zone. You could see them take away the lanes. Condra does good work. Legwand helps push the attack to the outside, and it ends up back in the Ducks zone.
Now Brewer steps up. Palmieri to Perry. In behind the net, it'll be Palmieri, a wraparound, and Hammond got a piece of that. And now out comes Ottawa. It's a 3-on-2 the other way. Pass across Turris, but McCulloch was in ahead of the play, and what a stop that was by Hammond as Palmieri with a tricky wraparound attempt.
Well, it was an outstanding play by Hammond because he's going from right to left, and Palmieri grabs it at the last second. You can see he's got to push back, does the splits, and gets enough of it with his left pad to keep it out. So many times in the league you see that hit that left pad and slide in. This one slides out.
Well, they've talked about how cool and unaffected Andrew Hammond has been in his brief stint as the #1 guy here in Ottawa in the absence of Anderson and Leonard.
Well, it's a great story because, yes, he gets called up on an emergency basis and works hard as the backup for 9 starts and gets thrown in again on an emergency situation because of Leonard getting injured, and he hasn't given the net back.
Well, here's our game story tonight. Eric Condra extending his point streak. He scored the first goal. Hammond's been terrific and trying to end a bit of a drought here in California for the Ottawa Senators.
Been all business out here for the Senators. I was expecting to see a couple of them with tomato face out in the sun all day, but guys locking it down.
Some of the guys in the truck, but it's been all business for the guys on the ice. Under 2 to go, and Gibson leaving the net for an extra attacker. So here comes another push by Anaheim. That one got past Perry, gets off of the corner, and it bounced off a player to Kessler in front, and he missed Palmieri. Backdoor. At the point it goes for Fowler. He's got Boschman a shot right on. Rebound. Carlson found that. Up for Condra. Knocked away from him. Now it's Mathot on it. Around off of Stanchion. Chiasson and Legwand able to get it out. 80 seconds left, third period. Ottawa trying to preserve the 2-0 lead. It'll be Palmieri. He can't get a shot away. Chiasson's on it. Weak backhand knocked down by Getzlaf. In behind the net, Perry. Getzlaf lurking in front. Couldn't take the pass. And Ottawa will bounce it out. A minute away from a win in Anaheim, which would be even sweeter. If they can hold this score here, it's an offside at the line. 55.6 on the clock.
Well, the storyline so far has been that gentleman right there, Andrew Hammond, who's been outstanding all game long. Very solid, very efficient in his movement. See a great save there, but the puck has been in front of him. He hasn't opened up a lot of holes, and calm, confident in the net. And when you have that type of confidence, it exudes. The team in front of you settles down and plays very well for you. They've done a very good job in front of Hammond, but he's made the save at the right time for this group, and he's done a terrific job since he's taken over for the injured Robin Leonard.
I'm not going to get you to say the word, but
well, we won't.
You were in that spot. Your third or fourth start in the league, and you're in this position with under a minute to go.
I think you're just trying to fight through it. I mean, you always watch the clock as far as the seconds. And when I used to hit the 5-minute mark, if I did have something like that going, it's not 5 minutes, it's 300 seconds. And then you count it down from there in your head. So the internal clock is certainly ticking, but Andrew Hammond, the one thing I've been impressed with him, he doesn't wear it. He doesn't wear his nerves, and you could see.
Just saw a little smile. How about that?
He's enjoying it. He's loving it. Embrace it. I was always terrified out there.
Funny hop into the Ottawa zone. Greiva leaned on. Tries to stay on it. Does. Up the wall. Cut off there. Played by Kessler to the point. Fowler across. That shot knocked down en route. In behind, Palmieri battles. Greiva surrounded. Puck is loose. Sent the length of the ice, but it will go wide of the gaping net. And with 28 seconds remaining, another face-off.
But it gives you an opportunity. Stone just wires it towards the open net and it misses. But it gives Kyle Turris an opportunity to try and win a draw here and kill off some precious seconds as there's only 28 left.
Turris against Kessler on the drop, won by the Ducks. It'll come back to Fowler. Shot went wide. Getzlaf tried to get on it and now has it. Looks for Perry, but it went off a skate. Now Perry in front, and that is blocked by Gryba. Perry knocks it down. Good battle by McCulloch. And now Turris in to clear, send it down the ice, and in! Kyle Turris has his 5th in 6 games, and it's 3-0. And only one thing left to be settled here tonight with 6.4 seconds remaining.
Well, it's good work. Down on the wall here, Gryba tries to get it out. Corey Perry holds it in, but McCulloch just battling and hacking and whacking away helps create that lane for Kyle Turris to jump in there and fire at the length of the ice right into the middle of the net. But McCulloch with some terrific work and doesn't give up on the play. They're able to have the back-breaking goal, 3-0.
And the clock winds down. Andrew Hammond, you have your first National Hockey League shutout. 25 saves, and he'll keep that puck as a souvenir. His 3rd consecutive win as a starter is a perfect performance here at the Honda Center tonight with 25 stops.
It was an outstanding performance by Andrew Hammond. You could see the excitement in his teammates coming to congratulate him, lining up, and can't imagine the emotion going through it, especially with your parents in the stands, we believe. They were there, but I'm sure they were nervous, probably walking the concourse.
We looked for mom and dad late in the 3rd period, couldn't find them. Maybe they couldn't bear to watch. But it's a happy ending here for the Ottawa Senators and Andrew Hammond. A first-star performance. Beats Montreal with 42 saves, beats Florida with 21, and is perfect tonight. Mark Stone solid all night, 200-foot game, as was Bobby Ryan, who had some chances here in the 3rd period. But this was a complete team effort tonight by the Ottawa Senators. One of their finest performances of the season.
I thought they were outstanding. Right from the drop of the puck, you could see that they executed their game plan and did a very good job of protecting their goaltender. And when the pucks did get to him, Andrew Hammond was the story in net for the Senators.
So it's 3 wins in a row for Ottawa. First time they've done that since mid-October. We'll see you when the Senators meet the Kings tomorrow in LA. Right now, let's go to Nabil Karim with SportsCenter.